Matt Knoll. Also a receiver at 5'10", 175-pound senior, number 10, Caleb Petrosky. And rounding out your receivers, a 6', 180-pound senior, number 2, Trevor Nelson. Starting running backs for tonight. First of all, we have a 5'8", 170-pound sophomore, number 12, Ty Haley. And your other running back this evening, a 5'8", 180-pound senior, number 41, Lucas Anderson. And your starting quarterback, a 5'9", 185-pound senior, number 1, Mikey Morris.
Welcome to West Sound TV presents high school football, the 2012 season, working with the kitsapsun.com/football for you to bring it to you live on the internet. We're at Silverdale Stadium, and after 19 years, the Bremerton High School Knights are in the postseason in the district tournament as they host Archbishop Murphy tonight from Silverdale Stadium. Spencer Anderson's on the camera and the computer. I'm the Dr. Doc Park. Kitty Campagna on that other microphone. And here we go, Kitty. A quick kickoff for the Bremerton High Knights in their blue and gold, and Archbishop Murphy in the white and black.
Well, those are Wildcats out there in white and black and red, and those guys have had a great season, Doc. They are at 7-2. Had a tough run where they had 2 losses, lost their coach at the exact same time. He resigned, and right now they are coached by committee. So these guys have gone through a lot. They immediately ran off a winning streak of 5, including beating Squalicum last week in the first round of the playoffs, and they are coming here to see if they can take home some victory for Archbishop.
Well, winner continues on in the state playoffs, and loser hangs the cleats up for the season. And Archbishop Murphy is going to start out on their 35-yard line for their first offensive series. A quick handoff to the running back, and he'll pick up about 4.5 on that.
He's taken down by Lucas Anderson on that play. This Archbishop team does a lot of running. Their quarterback, Vanderwall, well, is a runner, and one of their major runners is number 27, Alex Galgano, a senior. So these are guys that you're going to be seeing getting the ball a lot.
2nd down and 6 coming up for the Warriors. Archbishop Murphy is just a little south, I believe, of Everett, Snohomish County. Here's the pitch back to the running back, and he's going to pick up a first down, takes it out to about the 36-yard line.
And that was Vanderwell carrying that, so I'm not sure who was under center on that one.
Was that the Wildcat?
I don't think there's a Wildcat. When I was looking at things, I think there were 7 different guys who had thrown a pass for him at one point, and several listed as quarterbacks. So I think they do a lot of switching around, and it is that deception that is going to make it tough.
Okay, it would be interesting to see that definition of Wildcat.
Well, and since they are
the Wildcats, I guess it's apropos. All right, first down for Archbishop Murphy, and they'll pick up about, they're going to pick up about 3, maybe 2.5 on the forward progress, but a good job by D there for the Bremerton High Knights. Had a bunch of them in on that one. And, of course, at the high school level, we're playing both ways. Most of the offense and defense are playing the game.
Well, especially now that when you're at 2A with the smaller schools, that's definitely going to happen. Now, that's something that's huge for Bremerton this year. For years, they were the only 3A in the 2A, 3A Olympic League, and now they also are 2A, and so they're feeling as if they're playing to similar competition.
Oh, and number 7, that's Vanderwell, who is listed as the QB. Again, picking up about 5-6 yards on that. It's going to be short of the first down. And, of course, Bremerton, the Olympic League champions, undefeated in league. And only 1 loss through the season. A great season for Coach Gillum and the Bremerton High School Knights.
Yeah, that only loss came against Wilson, a 3A team. So, as we said, them being in 2A has made a major difference this year.
Third down, about 3 to go for Archbishop here to get that first. Again, it's off to the running back, and this time it was handed off by number 17, Camden Buchanan is playing quarterback, and Vanderwall is that running back, and it's going to be another first down for the Wildcats.
And Buchanan is a senior, 6'1", 180 pounds, definitely listed as one of the quarterbacks. Depending upon where you look and what stats you pick up, you're going to find out that these guys have a variety of weapons.
Yeah, the ball's on the 42-yard line now for Archbishop Murphy.
The beauty of the running game, we're already at 8:52 as far as the clock goes.
And Buchanan's going to the air for the first time. Nice job on the defense that time by number 85, Shaquille Jones.
We remember Shaquille as a receiver last year. He did quite a bit, but he's the one who's got a little bit of height, 6 foot. They have a 6'5" tight end on this Archbishop Murphy team, and no one stands up to him.
Of course, I just love calling the name Shaquille.
I know. And he does go by Shaq, I think. So,
all right.
Mr. Jones.
Second down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Oh, nobody sees him.
Oh, boy, that was quite the move there. And Archbishop Murphy is going to take it down inside the 10. And it looks like they're going to place it on about the 6.5-yard line of Bremerton.
That is the senior Alex Galgano with the carry. What I got were stats for like the first 5 games, and at that point he was averaging about 140 yards per game. So he's one of their workhorses.
So that's going to bring up first down and goal to go for the Wildcats. And it's kind of weird because the West High School of Bremerton used to be the Wildcats. Now it's Bremerton High School Knights, which of course was my alma mater, East High Knights.
There you are.
But it's the Wildcats knocking on the door. There's the handoff. Oh, a nice stop there about the 5-yard line. Maybe a pickup of a yard.
Well, Doc, one of the things that I see different on this Bremerton team, besides it being 2A this year, is the improvement of the defense. And although these guys have run down the field pretty easily so far, you can see that they're stiffening right now. When they played North Mason, although North Mason scored a lot, they had some good goal line defense. These guys have been playing together. We've been calling these names for 3 or 4 years. They were starters as sophomores and freshmen.
Second down and goal to go. And that handoff is stuffed. Let's see, they might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. A nice job by the defensive lineman there for Bremerton.
There was no room for some of those cool moves that Galgano made the time before. Mikey Lawrence coming off the field right now. And as you said, Doc, these guys play both ways, so they are busy all the time.
Third down and goal to go. Big stop needed by the Bremerton High Knights. And
guess
look
who
at
has
that.
it?
Oh my gosh. What a great fake. It was actually a great fake, and our first 6 points on the board for the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats.
And that was number 24 with the score.
Jeff Scavato.
Definitely.
He's a junior. Yeah, boy, the Knight defense is going to have to stiffen up a little bit here.
Well, the Knights threw a shutout last week against Renton, which was really nice to see, but they're up against a powerhouse, a team that expects to win. They made it to the state championship last year and lost to Linden in the finals.
Yeah, and the PAT is good. So the first 7 points on the board at the 7-12 mark for the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats.
Well, Doc, I didn't have him kicking anything on the stuff I'd looked at, but that was Camden Buchanan with the kick, number 17. Because otherwise, I had Mason Bailey as the man who had all the PATs for them, and that might have been early on in the season.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Was the one that pretty much ran the offense as
Mr. Quarterback
QB for Archbishop Murray in that first series.
And I'd been told that this is an offense where it is guess who has the ball, and that's become obvious. I haven't checked to see how well our cameraman Spencer Anderson has kept up with it, but I'm sure he's always right on it.
Yeah, Spencer's done a great job this year. Really good camera work. All right, so Bremerton finds himself down here in this first period, 7-0 for the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats. Bremerton will have their first opportunity on offense.
And we know Bremerton as an offensive team, and they do a great job, but they are missing one of their biggest cogs in Andrew Shadle, who is unable to play. He had 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against him in the previous game, was ejected, and then that means he has to sit out the next game as well.
Kind of like soccer. 2 yellow cards equals a red card.
I believe so.
All right, about the 9-yard line is where Bremerton will pick it up, coming out to this near side. Oh, good look that time by number 27. That's Matt Noel. And Matt cuts back and picks up another couple yards. They'll take it up to the 32-yard line.
Matt Knowles, one of those senior leaders on this team, only 5'5", 160 pounds. But he is a playmaker. We have seen him as a receiver. We've seen him as a punt returner and a kick returner. And he is just always in the mix.
And the stats we got from Jeff Barton, the AD down there at Bremerton, tells us that Matt Noel has 42 receiving catches and 521 yards.
Exactly.
Nice job. Well, Mike will decide to keep it. That's Mr. Mike Lawrence.
And there's the stiff arm on the opposite, number 7, Vanderwall, taking it in the face.
And Mike Lawrence, in the last few years, has been in Kitsap County, I would say, one of the best quarterbacks we've had at both the passing and rushing game.
He has really developed into something special. When I looked on the internet, I caught the Everett Herald that was saying they knew what kind of athlete he was, and that Mr. Kane, number 44, would be his shadow for this whole game.
And there's a quick shot on almost the flat, and it'll pick up maybe a yard or 2 on that one. Yeah, they're going to say back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Already halfway through this first quarter, 6.5 minutes left.
Well, Archbishop Murphy used some clock on that drive from about their own 35-yard line down into the end zone.
I do believe I predicted there wouldn't be a lot of passing, and I...
At least from the Wildcat side.
Why do it if you don't need it? I mean, I can't really blame them.
And a fake handoff. Mike Lawrence will get that first down, and he takes it out to midfield for the Knights.
Really nice run by Lawrence on that one. Just knew where he had to get. I know he could see the yellow line on the field just like those of us here, and made it past it.
Well, yeah, anybody who wants to donate the software and computer for West Sound to have that yellow line is
more than welcome.
WestSoundTV.org. All right, there's the quick pass, and that's actually going to be a loss of yardage there. Mike had pretty good D on him. He had to get rid of it, and that was a loss of about 3 yards.
That went to Lucas Anderson, but the guy tackling him is the running back, Alex Galgano from the Wildcats.
Normally, that would have gone to Andrew Shadle.
That's true.
That's exactly one of Andrew's big spots, is that safety valve for the quarterback. And so there, Lucas is great, but, Andrew would have been there. Oh, and Mike Lawrence gets back to the original line of scrimmage and will pick up 2. But that's going to bring up 3rd down and long, Kitty.
Well, he did a nice job of getting anything positive out of that one. He sees some holes that I know we can see from up here, but I don't know how they see it down on the field at times. He's only listed at 5'9", so that's not a tall quarterback. He is 185, so he's pretty solid, but just amazing what he can do.
And, of course, for a number of years, we've seen Mr. Mike Lawrence and Andrew Shadle on the hardwood. Basketball players also for the Bremerton High Knights.
I like the more than one sport athlete, always have.
Okay, big third down for Bremerton. It's a pitch to number 34, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ball is loose. And our head referee out there is saying Bremerton maintains possession. They'll pick up a couple of yards on that, but that's going to bring up a 4th down now. About 7 yards to go, and it looks like the punting team's coming in. Number 27 it was Matt Knoll. So obviously Matt's getting some of those carries that Andrew Shadle would have got.
That's true. And the thing is that he needed to cut that upfield just a little bit quicker, at least from, as I said, once again, up here, I can see it quite nicely where that hole is. Why can't he?
All right, 4th and long, so Bremerton's going to have to kick it away.
It's almost gone silent down there.
Good boot.
Really strong boot.
Down to about the 14-yard line, which is where Archbishop Murphy, and Galgano is up to almost midfield, but there is a yellow hanky out there.
There are two, Doc. They are almost right beside each other.
Okay, and it's inside the 30. We'll see. Generally a hold in that area, or a block in the back. So we will see, though. Who's our head man out there?
Oh, we do have a couple different people out there, and now you get our head referee is Don O'Neill, and then the umpire is Tracy Hillman, line judge Don Linder, linesman Drew Jackson, and back judge Ace Beckham.
And it is a hold against the Wildcats. So 10-yard penalty, and 1st down for Archbishop Murphy. So far, the first 2 receptions they've made on those kickoffs, they've done a pretty good job of getting some yardage on the run back.
They seem to have practiced that once or twice here. They're doing pretty good. These guys come out of a 1A, 2A Cascade League where the 1A teams are quite phenomenal. You got Kings and Lakewood that both beat them, but they beat everybody else, so they're the top 2A team out of Cascade.
Man, there's that handoff right up through the middle. Way too much running room. Down to the 40 and 30, 20. I don't think Bremerton's going to be able to stop. And that is number 27, Alex Galgano. Once again, the senior putting the points on the board.
That's with 2:57 left here in the first quarter. That was an 80-yard run, Doc, and it was just a burst. And we know how fast Bremerton is. They've kept up with everybody else they've played this year. So suddenly they're seeing a whole different competition, and we'll see if they make some adjustments.
And Archbishop Murphy now with their 2nd touchdown here in the first quarter, and they'll set up for the PAT. And yes, indeed, it's all basically so far been running, Kitty, just like you said, for the Wildcats.
So I had them backwards on which of the two were holding and kicking. This is actually Foster Wade with the kick.
And he's up and through the upright. Oh, no. Off to the side. It's hard to see, I guess, up here whether it looked good from up here, but it was not.
That is why we use those gentlemen standing underneath who give us the signal and let us know.
We don't have that camera right behind.
Let me tell you how happy that particular signal made me when Notre Dame was playing in overtime, and my entire family, by 3rd overtime, we were just about dead. It was more than we could take this last Saturday.
Shall we say a few members of your family graduates of the Irish?
We do have a bias, having both my husband and I graduated from there, and my middle daughter and Bob's brother as well. So just a little history there.
And really, what a season they are having.
You know,
boy, oh boy, this is the best Irish team I've seen for a long time.
Since about the time that the year before I got there, when they had Montana, when that was pretty spectacular back then.
Yes, indeed. Well, 13 points on the board here in the first quarter for Archbishop Murray. Just under 3 minutes left to go here in this first quarter, and Bremerton's digging themselves a hole.
You know, they've done this before. Last year, I
have.
remember against Kingston, where they had a major comeback against a very good Kingston team. And speaking of Kingston, they are still in these playoffs, and which is quite spectacular.
The last two Kitsap County football teams, Bremerton and Kingston, playing
Well,
this
Bremerton
weekend in districts.
has awakened a community with this. It is very cool.
It's been 19 years since they made playoffs.
Ow.
So this is great to see for the Knights. Picked up on the 15-yard line by Bremerton and out to the 25, and that will be Trevor Nelson. They'll mark it at, looks like they'll mark it at the 20, well, they're going to give them to the 28, it looks like.
So they have a couple minutes here in the first quarter, whole second quarter yet, see what they can develop out there.
Well, as we all know, the further you get into the playoffs, it's the D.
It is.
It's the D, and so far the Bremerton D has allowed 13 points by Archbishop. So that puts the offense in the position that they got to put points on the board. Mike Lawrence with a handoff. And a good shot there by Foster Wade, bringing down the Knight runner. He'll get a couple yards out to the 30 is where they'll place it.
Now, when Archbishop lost their two games, those were not good defensive games for them. They gave up 40 and 49. But most recently, it's been 7-6. It was 16 against Squalicum, but they had 44, so some of that was slop time.
Second down and 8 now for Bremerton. Lawrence high snap. He's going into the air. Oh, boy. Yeah, man, that looked like it might have been catchable for Matt Knoll.
I kind of thought so. He had Trevor Nelson in the same area, but it was if they kind of got confused that they were both there.
Might have heard the footsteps.
Could be.
And that would have been very close to first down territory. So that's going to bring up third down now and 8 for the Knights. And again, they've got to move the football. And obviously, Archbishop Murphy, so far, pretty good defensive effort as well as that offense putting 13 on the board.
Well, and Mikey can only do so much with the run if he doesn't have the pass working for him, too.
That's it, exactly. And he'll get out to the 35-yard line, but that's going to be about 3.5 yards short of a first down, and that'll bring up fourth down deep in your own territory, still in the first quarter. Pretty much got to boot it away.
Oh, yeah. You don't know in high school football, which is one of the beauties of it. There, sometimes people will go for these things, but there's a lot of time left. Bremerton is a very good offensive team. They're just kind of finding their feet right now.
And Michael Moran, senior out there, is the punter.
And if it's Galgano, probably back to receive again. It is Alex.
He's at his 40-yard line.
High snap.
And again, he pushes it back, and Galgano's going to call for the fair catch at about the 29-yard line. They'll place it at the 30. But that was definitely a nice punt, and Bremerton did a good job of covering it, forcing Galgano to call that fair catch.
Well, special teams are so important, especially at the high school level. If you have a good punter, or if you have someone who can kick a field goal or gets you those PATs, they are essential. That could have easily, he started out at his 40 expecting it, and instead they are 10 yards further back, which that's a nice play.
All right, Archbishop Murphy starting out at their own 30-yard line, but they have already taken it from that distance into the end zone. So
that's going to be the aberration, Doc.
Bremerton D has got to solidify. Quick handoff to number 7. That would be Vanderwell.
So are we allowed to like scream from up here which one has it? It would be the case with some of the coaches. They do try that, hoping that someone can hear them.
Yeah, they're going to give him about 4 yards on that. Ball will be at the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Clock is ticking. We've got about 45 seconds left to go in this first quarter here. A game being played at Silverdale Stadium, and as Brent and Norm Johnson talked about last week, WIAA requires that all playoff games be played on artificial turf.
This is the busiest stadium in the business right now that we
Oh, nice stop by Bremerton. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you should. It deserves an interruption, let me tell you.
He'll pick up about 1.5 yards on that, but that's probably the best defensive play by Bremerton so far, and that may end the first quarter. We're down under 10 seconds here. I think the Wildcats will just let it go down to 0-0, and that's it. So at the end of quarter number 1, the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats lead the Bremerton High Knights 13-0. We'll be back with that second quarter shortly. Well, here we go. Second quarter coming up from Silverdale Stadium. It's West Sound TV presents the 2012 high school football season. We're into the postseason, the playoffs, and coming to you live on the internet thanks to the KidsapSun.com/football and Peninsula Auto Group from Gorse, Subaru, Suzuki, and Triumph Motorcycles. And for our hometown fans here at Silverdale Stadium, Bremerton down 13-0 to the Wildcats. The Wildcats will start out third down here, start out this quarter with a 3rd down and about 4 to go for a first down.
Of the 13-0 lead. I'm thinking we might have 1 or 2 Wildcat fans. I saw our link.
Oh boy, a fake handoff, a nice job by, again, Vanderwall, who on he's listed as a QB on our schedule, Vanderwell, and doesn't say anything about RB, but he's been doing it.
I did have that he has about 90 yards a game, so wow. That is, he's obviously been used as the running back more, but I think part of this is the stats I have came from like the first 5 games, and they've had that change in coaches and and they've obviously found a winning formula right now.
No doubt about it. Right now, the Wildcats are at the Bremerton 40-yard line with a 1st and 10 here. And the quarterback, Buchanan, goes to the air. He's got the open receiver, but he throws it a little too hard.
That's so tough. The poor Bremerton defensive back was by himself. He was it. There was no help. There's no safety. There's nothing because they're running so much. They bring everybody up into the box. And had that pass been on, that could have certainly been another 6.
2nd down and 10 coming up for the Wildcats. Just underway here in the second quarter at Silverdale Stadium.
And you know, Doc, I think they do that every once in a while just to tease him, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that, the second pass or first? There it is, Vanderwell again, number 7. He's going to run for a 1st down, moving it inside the 30 of Bremerton down to about the 29-yard line.
That is one solid running back, 6'1", 195-pound senior who obviously is enjoying this new, if it's a new role, but a role of running lots.
And it may be time to put one man on. Maybe they read the lineups just like we did. This guy's a quarterback.
You know, Doc, I'm thinking they got some tape, which is so much easier for them to do now. They just exchange it by computer and don't meet in some parking lot. Exchange tapes.
And there again, right up through the middle, and almost a first down, a pickup of a good 8.5.
The problem with if you shadow Vanderwall, then you have Galgano, who did the 80-yard run earlier. So it is the number of weapons they have that make them so dangerous.
And yeah, that's for sure. Galgano, a senior, and Vanderwell, also a senior out there, so they got a lot of experience.
Yeah, as does Bremerton. They have a lot of seniors out there, and this playoff thing is kind of new to them, but they certainly felt at home against Renton last week.
Second down and about 3. And it's Vanderwell.
42 has it.
Yeah, right. And again, a great fake. He's almost in. Let's see if they call it. Oh, I think they're going to say it's just short. I haven't seen the referees put their hands up.
It might be a touchback because
did they
knocked
the
it.
Ball?
They did. They did fumble into the end zone, and they may have knocked it out. But we'll see.
I think they're going to call it down at the half-yard line. Well,
no, but Bremerton's changing their people.
All right, and the Bremerton fans are cheering down below us, so maybe. And it is. They'll take it. They'll move the ball out to the 20-yard line. The first big break of the ball game for the Bremerton High Knights.
Boy, you aren't a kidding.
And they really needed it because so far momentum has definitely been on the side of Archbishop Murphy.
That and their 4 different people have tried to carry it in for a touchdown. That one was number 42, not even listed on what I have here.
And Lawrence with the keeper on the first down. He'll get out maybe a yard and a half on that. And it looks to me like the Archbishop Murphy D has definitely worked on putting men on that quarterback. They know Mike's going to run it.
And they know without Shadle that the weapons are slightly different. They still have some good people out there, some great running backs, but sophomores are what we're looking at as compared to a senior.
And I'm sure the whole Bremerton team would love to get to the next game to give Andrew his shot.
Oh, well, his passion for this game, it is sad the reason that he's out, but part of it is that he plays with an incredible passion.
Lawrence with a fake handoff. Will take it out to about the 26-yard line. That's still going to be short. It's going to bring up third down and about 4.5 to go for the first.
9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. These guys, you can almost see it from here that Mikey Lawrence wants to just take this team on his shoulders and make it through, but
he can't do that, though. He's got 10 other guys that he needs help from.
I mean, he is very capable, and his line is getting him some holes, but they're going to key on him, so they need to find some other places to go.
Yeah, we know Mike can pass.
Oh, certainly.
All right, it's going to be third down, about 4 yards to go for the first, and it's a keeper again. This time he's going outside, and he puts his head down. Oh, man, it's about 5 guys in white on him, and I believe we'll just have to see where they spot it. It's a first down.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Moved out to forward progress out to about the 32-yard line.
You described it well, though, Doc. It was most of the Archbishop Murphy defense on him by the end of that.
We got a great crowd from Bremerton, a good crowd across the way from Archbishop Murphy, and really a good football night. A little chilly, but beautiful. No rain, no wind out there.
Doc, we're in November. This is gorgeous.
Almost the middle.
That's true.
Yes, indeed. All right, first down for the Bremerton High Knights at their own. Well, they move it almost to the 33.
Of course, I say it's gorgeous from inside the press box with the heater on underneath.
Lawrence fakes a handoff. He's going to the air. He's got a receiver. He's got it. Down to the 20, the 10, and into the end zone. I see no flags, and Bremerton is on the scoreboard. It's number 85, Shaquille Jones.
We said Shaq was a receiver, didn't we?
That's what it says here, wide receiver.
And they started that at about the 30, so that's a 70-yard pass reception by Jones.
Yes, indeed, 33, I believe. And yeah, and that was just a beautiful pass by, not only did Jones outrun his defender, but Mike Lawrence got it exactly where he needed to.
Oh, he led his man beautifully.
Yes.
And the defender, once he knew he was beat, went out of bounds and stopped, which was pretty interesting to see.
8:03 here in the second quarter, and the Knights on the board, and I won't call it till I see the hands up, but it is a PAT good. So Bremerton with 7, down only by 6 now, with still 8 minutes to go in quarter number 2.
That took exactly 2 minutes to happen. The fumble occurred at 10:03, the touchdown at 8:03. So that is the quick strike ability that Bremerton has. And you said it, Doc, Mikey Lawrence can pass.
And you know, I was thinking about it. I think we've seen, 3 Bremerton games so far this season. And what has really been impressive have been those offensive numbers.
Yes.
I mean, that North Mason game, 58 to something, you know, the Renton game last week, they've got them 26-0, which, of course, you got to give the D a lot of credit anytime the other team comes up with 0. But, yeah, we've got, I think, a pretty competitive match tonight, and happy to have you folks with us on the internet watching this game live, thanks to the kidsapsun.com/football and Peninsula Auto Group in Gore, Subaru, Suzuki, and Triumph Motorcycle, helping to support the community effort. And of course, we're West Sound TV, and our mission as a nonprofit volunteer organization, bring great community programming to Kitsap County.
And this is great community programming.
And the Wildcats pick it up on their own 10. They'll bring it out to about the 26-yard line.
If you listen to the fans, they like that tackle. It was, they must have been able to hear it, definitely. And that was Vanderwell, but he didn't get a whole lot extra once he got it. Yeah, you were talking about Bremerton and how they've scored. One of their biggest wins is that 37-0 win over Kingston. It was 58 points they scored against North Mason, 63 against Port Angeles, and 56 against Clahalia when it was almost tied at halftime.
And in the middle of the season, the game that we added in that we hadn't planned on was Bremerton North, and now that one was a pretty hard-fought game on both sides, but Bremerton coming out the victor. And again, because of the offense.
They won 34-27. Now that is the one-like opponent that these two teams have. Archbishop Murphy started their season against North Kitsap with a convincing 42-21 win, which is why the Everett Herald has picked them as a 10-point winner in this particular game. They were comparing those, but I don't think you can compare much from the beginning of the season for either of these teams.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know about Archbishop Murphy, but I definitely know that North Kitsap took them a couple, 2 or 3 weeks to really get up to the potential of that team.
They did. That is, and as we saw with Kingston, where we did their Bainbridge game, they were missing major players. And once they got them back, they gelled with their new coach, Todd Harden, and have done a great job.
W. Todd.
W. Todd.
And, of course, Kingston still alive as we play this ball game tonight. This game is played on November 9th. And Kingston, the other team from the Olympic League that's still playing football.
They're playing Sumner tonight.
Quick handoff, and up through the middle, it's Galgano. He'll pick up about 5 on that one, maybe 5.5.
So they've gone to the Vanderwell one too many times and are now going to Galgano. Thank God I have someone who appreciates my puns.
And I wasn't even at the Halloween party.
I know. You missed a lot of them. Again, as the rules always are, it's Kitty's game, it's Kitty's rules.
All right, second half for the Wildcats, 7:21 here in the second quarter. Yeah, we've got a whistle. We'll have to see what. It's timeout, Archbishop Murphy. Maybe they did not like what they saw in the Bremerton D. But the timeout called at the 7:17 mark. That's the first timeout tonight.
I think you're right, unless I saw one other, I thought possibly, but with the Bremerton D, what we haven't mentioned, our head coach is Nate Gillum, but he has a ton of assistants. We have Dave Boynton, Derek Salisbury, Mike Terso, Joe Kennedy, R.J. Gossard, Ron Atkins, Tony Body, Daniel Pete, Walter Brown, Ryan Stroud, Mike Armbruster, Kevin Hooker, and at least 10 more, I'm sure.
And you know, most of those guys are volunteers.
They are.
No, they're not paid employees. They are volunteers, and that's great. And Nate has done just an excellent job. He's been there for, I believe, 8 years.
That sounds about right.
And he really has been patient and really worked with these players to bring them up.
Did he not play at Bremerton? I believe.
Yes, he did.
Was he in the ground chuck years?
He was, I believe, back in the 90s.
Ah.
Uh-oh, first down for Archbishop out to the 45-yard line. And guess who? They went to Galgano.
Well, I'm not even sure where that hole occurred because it was right up the middle. Great job by this offensive line for Archbishop Murphy.
And that's really been where they've been getting most of their yardage. They haven't been doing a whole lot around the ends. They've been pretty much going up over tackle, guard.
They've done a few of the surprise ones around the end where it's gone to somebody different.
But it's definitely been a surprise because most of the time it's been Galgano. Vanderwell seems to be the one working the outside.
We have a referee's, the timeout. I think they're giving the chain people a chance to reset over there. Something's happened. They're working on the chains.
All right. And it's going to be a first down for Archbishop Murphy. Ball placed at the 46-yard line.
7 minutes still to go in this half. 13-7 Archbishop Murphy lead.
And going up to the air, out to the flat, it's to Vanderwell. And he breaks a tackle. He's down to the Bremerton 27-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice job, but then suddenly he did become friends with 3 guys in blue uniforms there. Nice to see them get the final tackle.
And you know, Buchanan did a good job of waiting to throw that pass until Vanderwell had that opening.
Yeah, you have to let that one develop. It's a timing all the way.
And apparently we have a flag. It's a hold against Archbishop Murphy.
Still a first down.
But it will at least move them back 10
and
from the spot of the foul. So they'll move it back to the 41-yard line.
Interesting place for a hold up there on the, must have been on a block towards the end.
So first down at the 6:44 mark for Archbishop. They're into Bremerton territory down at the 41-yard line.
34.
No, man. And 34 is Reagan Gordon. That's one of those new guys. And guess who the quarterback was? Vanderwell.
Let's see if we can confuse us all. Definitely.
I guess just like the coaching situation, they're moving all of their players around, too, as things go.
Well, these guys...
You got to give them credit because it's working so far.
They had a brand new coach, Dave Ward, last year, and it's Bill Marsh at the beginning of the year. Coach stepped in and they suspended him, and then suddenly they just said, okay, we're just gonna do this together.
And Buchanan back at under center. Man goes in motion. Handoff up through the middle. This time the Bremerton D holds him to about a yard. And one of the guys, 56 in there for Bremerton, is Skylar Mullins and Connor Mahoney.
Mullins, the junior out there. Well, that was interesting because Buchanan continued the fake and then just went over to the sideline and got the next play.
Yeah, we've called Mullins' name in previous games, so it's good to see him out there working tonight on the deep. And Buchanan's going to go to the air, straight down the middle. He's got a wide open receiver who walks into the end zone for another touchdown for Archbishop Murphy.
I was trying to see who it was who caught that.
Yeah, whoever, I didn't see the number either, but whoever it was, he was wide open. He beat the D big time.
Thought it might have been 88, Brandon Byrne, who's a senior wide receiver.
Yep, probably was. Yeah. Another 6 on the board for the Wildcats. And they will attempt the PAT here down at the south end of the field. And this one's no good.
Okay, Doc, I would have sworn, so I'm really glad we waited till we watched those guys.
Yeah, me too.
So we got 19-7.
Well, that still gives Bremerton an opportunity with those 2 PATs missed. But
that does help. So really, they should go back to the guy that I had him doing the PATs, number 58, earlier in the year. So.
Well, so far, though, the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats have shown they can move the ball from one end of the field to the other. They have not been doing it on 30 yards in the opposing teams. They've been moving it from their own 30, their own 40.
And the only thing that really has stopped them was themselves when they fumbled that out of the end zone and got the touchback for the Bremerton team. Bremerton took advantage of it, which was really nice to see, but they are just a juggernaut out there.
Well, it's a 5:41 left to go here in the first half at Silverdale Stadium, and the Wildcats up over our Bremerton High School Knights, 19-7. 12-point ball game so far.
The one thing, Doc, we have not had a whole lot of those hankies out there, just a couple penalties so far, which is
very
nice
clean
to see. I know early in the year where we're just dying, and there was a Clahalia game that we in North Kitsap that I just don't think that they ever even made it back into the pocket.
I think that was one that you and Spencer called, wasn't
Spencer
it?
called that with Pat Duncan.
Oh, with Pat Duncan, yeah.
Yes. And that just, I ran camera, and, you know, that slows things down. So.
Sure does.
Ooh, this is an interesting formation. I'm not even sure it's legal. I thought you had to have so many on one side of the ball.
Well, yep, they are on one side.
But you have to have like at least 4. Here they go.
There they go. Now they split.
They were just having a group huddle first.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen a dozen different ways that's being done lately. And it's kicked away, going to be picked up or
so
not.
So we hope.
Yeah, I was going to say, finally picked up by Bremerton at their own about 17, and they'll bring it out to about the 27.
That was Matt Knoll bringing it out there.
That'll be a pickup of about 10 for the Knights. Decent starting position, but 5:34 left to go in this first half. And so once again, I mean, how often do we talk about how much time the defense is out on the field?
We do.
And now this game is almost the opposite. It's the offense for Bremerton that has been out on the field for a whole lot of time.
They have, but they only so far 7 points to show for it. But as we also explained, the defense and the offense are made up of a lot of the same people.
Oh boy, and there's Mr. Kane.
Stephen
who you
Kane.
talked about early on, jumping in there and putting Bremerton down to about a 4.5-yard loss on that.
He's 6'3", 190 pounds, and they actually have him listed as a running back and linebacker. So remember when we said you might see anybody running that ball on the offense, they might include him.
And in that story from the Herald, they featured him.
Yes.
As one of the defenders that had to stop the Bremerton High Knights. Second down for Bremerton, about 14 to go. Lawrence fakes the pass, and he sends it across the middle. Fortunately, down on the one knee. And I didn't see who, I think it's Haley. I think it was Ty Haley, the sophomore, who got that one.
And yeah, once just like college, if your knee's down, you are down. No one has to touch you.
Yep. Well, but that was a pretty nice 10-yard completion there, so that'll bring up Bremerton with 3rd down and a little over 4 to go for the first, so pretty makeable.
And again, good patience by Lawrence. He brought it down, did a pump fake, and then got it off.
There's the pitch coming around this near end, and it's going to be a 1st down out to the 40 for the Bremerton High Knights. And it's Matt Knoll.
Some really nice blocking on the outside by the receivers. That was well done.
41 is where they're going to place it with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left to go here in this first half.
Do notice, Doc, no one has gotten up and given the 1st down signal tonight. I think, unfortunately, they've learned their lesson from that one.
All right, 1st down for Bremerton, and Mikey Lawrence back in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That's Robinson. Oh, good run up through the middle there. Pickup of a good 6.5, 7 yards, and he's still working his way. Yeah.
Brought down one of them was number 80, Connor Longoria.
Yeah, was that Mike Lawrence?
That was Mike Lawrence with that.
Yep.
Yep.
So there was no handoff, no need for it. Michael carried up the gut.
He too is one who likes to do that, I believe.
Nice job there, picking up about 7 yards on that 1st down, 2nd down, and 3, almost to midfield for the Knights.
Just 3 minutes remaining here in the first half.
And Lawrence chased by Kane. Oh boy, that was a little dangerous.
And we talked about would Kane be fast enough to keep up with Mikey, and he certainly did on that one. Yeah.
He got right in Lawrence's face there on that one, and Mike just had to throw it away.
He took a hit on that.
That was a scary pass.
I think he's seeing like 7 different, when he's looking over there, if those are signaled in by fingers, he might not be counting them right, so it may be a whole new play than what the coach has called.
All right, big 3rd down for Bremerton to keep this drive alive. Ball is at the 48-yard line. Lawrence puts the man in motion, fakes a handoff to the 1st man through. 2nd man is going to pick up the 1st down. And that's number 41, Lucas Anderson. And we knew Lucas was going to have to come up in this ball game.
Lucas is listed at 5'8", 180, and he is actually called a fullback. And you and I both like the fullback, and that's exactly what he did. He pulled his way forward for that 1st down.
Senior power. 1st down for Bremerton. 2:39 left to go. Pitch. Yeah, number 12 carrying it. That's Ty Haley. So far, Haley and Anderson have been carrying it, along with, of course, Mike Lawrence.
And looks as if they're trying to give Archbishop Murphy a little bit of their own medicine with this who have I actually handed it off to stuff, which is good to see.
And we do have a Wildcat down on the field right now. Ball will be placed at the Wildcat 45-yard line, a 2nd down and about 7.5 to go, but they're currently tending to the player from Archbishop Murphy who's down on the ground. And we have 2 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in this first half of action here at Silverdale Stadium. Happy to have you with us, and definitely want to thank the kidsapsun.com/football for being able to bring this game to not only our community, but worldwide over the internet at kidsapsun.com/football. And, of course, they're helped out by support from Peninsula Auto Group and Gorst, Subaru, Suzuki, and Triumph Motorcycles. And we're West Sound TV. We're a local nonprofit organization, a volunteer organization whose mission is to bring to the community events over our local community access channels, Channel 12 on BKAT and on Comcast Cable, and Channel 3 on Wave Broadband.
Well, and Doc, those are actually our 12 o'clock noon site is also now on the internet site for BCAT, which is www.ci.bremerton.com. .wa.us/ no, there's another thing.
Gov somewhere.
/BCAT.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, look at Google BCAT and you can get there.
Yeah, but that's great. So, I mean, BCAT, I think this is the last month or two is the first time that they have expanded to running all of their programs. They did have some of their programs available on the internet, primarily the government shows.
Correct.
But now to have expanded to their entire schedule, that's really great.
So I have not, and they have this person block, so even if we could get in with a close-up, I don't think we could catch a number right now.
Spencer says 10. And number 10 for the Wildcats is Foster Wade, the junior out there.
Well, he was the one doing some of the extra point kicking, and we've also called his name, I think, both offense and defense.
Well, we certainly hope he's going to be okay. He's been down there for a while.
And they're being very careful. They have they're bringing the stretcher on.
And that's, I believe, the first one of that I know the first one we've seen this year.
In the games that I've been at, that is true. But you like the caution.
Yeah, you've got to do it for sure. You want to be, obviously you have to err on the side of caution. And
I do see him moving his foot and his leg.
He had his feet up, but they are definitely looking at the neck area.
I'm sure they'll put some sort of collar on and just take their time. First priority is getting him off safely.
Yep.
And always there is an ambulance sitting in the end zone for this exact purpose.
Well, it's high school football 2012. We're into the postseason. That's hard to believe for me. Our first game this year was August 31.
Yes, it was.
And we brought you, working with the South Kitsap Video Production Program, we brought you Eric Canton's first game as head coach of SK, taking on, I believe it was Kent Ridge, or Kentwood, or
Kent Ridge.
Kent
you were
Ridge,
correct.
okay. And boy, what a season we've had.
Well, Doc, we have covered, including the doubleheader, we had 10 games scheduled, our 11th and 12th last week, because we did 2 playoff games on Friday and Saturday. This is lucky number 13.
And for those of you on cable, we didn't do it on the internet, but we did have that extra Bremerton.
That's correct.
Takes on North up at North, because at that point both of them were tied for number 1 in the Olympic League.
That is correct.
So it's been a good season for us, and again, we just got to thank the Kitsap Sun for all the support they've given us, and the community, really, and not just Kitsap County, the worldwide community, for helping to put these programs on the internet so people like our buddy Larry Rowe in China can watch it.
Well, I sent off my text prior to this to my Montana relatives to take a peek. Unfortunately, my nephew is out of the playoffs with his football team in Billings, but that's the exact purpose of this, and it has been a great partnership in that we've had an opportunity. So many times we'd just be covering the same games, and somewhere, we'd look at each other and just think, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Isn't there a way we can work together? We can give you a feed, and we can share some of our expertise, which is, it's just been great. And then they shared Spencer with us, which is quite wonderful.
And Spencer has done just an outstanding job this season. Of course, before, too, but this season especially, I think has just really done a nice job bringing you the pictures and, of course, helping out here at the computers, being sure that stream is working for you. Well, we still got some time out there, it looks like. And, again, you've got to be especially cautious if it may be a neck injury or something like that. And both teams on the sidelines down kneeling, which is a sign of respect.
Good teamwork. You keep expecting them almost to bring out one of those linemen to help pick him up, but they do have the board underneath and working to get him situated.
Man, football is a tough game. You go into it, everybody that plays the game knows that.
Well, there's the emphasis on the concussions that they have really set about this year. And this would be one of those times where, I don't know if it was a head injury or you said it looked like they might have been putting the neck collar on just to be safe. And that's exactly it. These are young men that you have to, they're in your hands. You must take care of them.
Well, we certainly hope the best for the young man out there. And again, we believe that it is Foster Wade, who is a junior. And he also, they've got a nice thing here on the Archbishop Murphy lineup, and it says that he has a 3.6 to 3.99 cumulative grade point average.
Yeah, these guys get asterisks.
So congratulations.
Beside their names, according to what their grade point is. And so let's give you the Isaac Westland, who actually had 3 asterisks, so that's a 4.0.
Wow.
And I thought he may be the only 3 asterisk out there, but a lot of guys with the 2, which is pretty impressive. Very difficult to do the academic and the athletic, but that's one of the focuses of the private school, Archbishop Murphy.
Well, they're still working out there on the player, getting him strapped onto the board, put on the gurney. 2:23 left to go in this first half, and the Wildcats from Archbishop Murphy have a 19-7 12-point lead over the Bremerton High Knights. Man, this is the longest one we've seen in quite a while as far as injury timeout, and they are definitely strapping him down on that board, which indicates they do not want to take any chance with any motion or movement as they transfer him to the gurney.
Exactly, and put on a blanket or two, as we explained. Something of a chill out there. I see the facilities manager, Jim Ferrati, down on the field, just kind of overseeing, making sure things are going well out there.
And of course, we've got here in the county some great EMTs. They are some of the best.
Referees are going to talk to each side, making sure that people know what's going on. Pretty quiet up here in the booth. Everyone concerned.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got the...
and we have a halftime score for Sumner and Kingston. Sumner leading 20-3.
Down at Sunset Chevrolet Stadium in Sumner, one of our favorites, with elevators up to the press booth.
We have been there. I remember doing a soccer game with you there,
yes,
Doc.
Indeed.
Exactly. That was eons ago.
And it looks like they're finally going to move the gurney into place and lift him up. And we want to thank all you fans that have watched this season, either on the internet or on our replay on BKAT.
Or who are here.
Of course, people that turn out, our good buddy Lanny Dowell and his wife Deanna, every single Bremerton game, a lot of the CK games, they're right down there in the stands watching it. And good to see our buddy Jay from Bremerton High School, now the photography teacher, formerly the video teacher up at North and Kingston. And again, we're West Sound TV, a local nonprofit group who volunteers, whose mission is to produce, promote, and help to develop local community television here in Kitsap County. Yeah, we've got a round of applause as they lift the player up onto the gurney. I don't know. I haven't seen if there's been a thumbs up sign from him or not. Quite often you'll see that in the pros.
Well, and he may not have, he seems to be strapped everywhere. That might be a tough thing to do at this point. They are now actually going to let everybody warm up a little bit, do some running on the sides.
Well, we certainly wish the young man the best. And of course, it always adds a little somber chill to the game.
It becomes, you know where your priority should lie. So.
Yep. At the same time, every one of those players out there knows that this is a contact sport.
Yes, definitely. So everybody kind of getting back into position. They're taking him slowly off. They have the ambulance placed there. So Doc, it's been confirmed we have a Montana viewer. My brother is watching because he needed his high school football fix tonight.
All right, and good that he still has power. Snow blizzards back there in
They're
Montana
having some.
today.
Yeah.
Okay, it's second down. We're underway again. Mike Lawrence for the Bremerton High Knights is going deep. He's got a man there. A little bit of pushing, and that's enough for the yellow hanky.
I think there was grabbing of that arm possibly that was called.
And that may be a huge break for Bremerton. That's the initial indication. Pass interference against Archbishop Murphy. And they are talking to Bremerton, and that one flag is on the 15, the other one down at about the 20. So we'll have to see where they're going to place it.
And I can't remember in high school if it is, I don't think it's the point of the foul. I think it's just a 15-yarder.
And there it is, pass interference against Archbishop. It is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic, I believe, first down.
Correct.
First down on yardage anyway. So Bremerton moves the ball down to the 30-yard line with 2:08 left to go in this first half.
What I actually almost forgotten was the fact that Bremerton was moving the ball really nicely on this particular drive before all this happened.
It was about a 10-15 minute delay there, so good to see everybody still warmed up on a cold night. Oh, it's a double pitch coming around to this near side, but Archbishop Murphy was not going to be fooled, and Colin Farrell with a great tackle about the line of scrimmage.
What a block by Mikey Lawrence, though. He certainly freed it up to get to the corner, but they were waiting at the corner.
Yep. So that's going to bring second down and 10 for Bremerton. Clock continues to tick, 1:40. Lawrence in the shotgun. He fakes a handoff. He thinks about running, but right across the middle, wide open receiver for the Bremerton High Knights, and it's Ty Haley.
He was so open, he didn't know what to do. He was trying to juke somebody who wasn't there.
And I think Lawrence really wanted to run, but he saw Haley so wide open, he knew he had to pass, or Coach Gillum might have suggested something there.
Very possible.
All right, timeout for the Bremerton High Knights. 1:26 left to go, and Bremerton moves the ball down to the 5-yard line of the Wildcats. It's going to be first down and goal to go. And down by 12, Bremerton certainly could use another score here in this first half.
We've talked about Big Mo, and this would be a big momentum changer if Bremerton could score right before the half. I've really liked the way they ran this entire drive. It has been with a lot of patience. There's been some running, a little bit of passing. Mike, as you said, Doc, Mikey Lawrence is one of the best quarterbacks around. He has matured as an athlete. We know that's always been there, but that now there's that football smarts that you're seeing out there, knowing when to throw it, know when to hold them, know when to run, that sort of thing. Exactly.
And I believe that he did actually have to play some quarterback as a sophomore. And last year as a junior, he played a lot. And of course this year played all at QB, but yeah, he has just been fun to watch. And again, missing his #1 man, his buddy Andrew Shadle.
Here goes Lawrence for the touchdown.
Well, we haven't seen the signal yet. They're going to say it's going to be on the half-yard.
Oh,
no.
it depends upon who you look at.
That's right. One referee is calling it a touchdown. The other one says down on the half-yard line. So we'll have to see what the man in the white hat comes up with.
Someone's going to blow a whistle and stop this.
Yes, they are.
We certainly had conflicting referees.
They're not going to go to the booth because we don't have replay. There it is.
Touchdown.
It's a touchdown for the Bremerton High Knights. Wow. So we've had almost everything so far, and it's only the first half, Kitty.
I know this. When we came here, I was excited because just to be in the playoff situation. But I have loved watching Bremerton play this year, and was excited to see this powerhouse, Archbishop Murphy.
And Michael Moran is going to attempt the PAT for the Knights.
Realize these are the number 8 and 9 teams in the state
in the 2A division. And that one looks good. It is. So that puts 14 on the board for the Bremerton High Knights, and that's only a 5-point lead for Archbishop Murphy. Now they do have 1:13 left to go in this half.
That's the scary part, isn't that where we're supposed to say, oh, you've left them too much time?
Well, the way that Archbishop Murphy has been moving the ball, I might agree with that.
They've used at least one, if not, I think 2 timeouts already, so that will be a positive for Bremerton.
But Bremerton really did a nice job on that last series, moving the ball down and putting the score on the board.
Well, and then to refocus after the long delay was good to see as well.
So 1:13 left to go in this first half. We've had so far on the tape a 44.5-minute.
It's been a long quarter.
Second quarter.
Yeah, but that first one went by like that with all the running.
I mean, I think we had a 52-minute quarter, didn't we, Spencer? Sometime this season.
That was a penalty one. That was forever, yes.
Well, and this one, of course, a lot of that time was the injury time. Well, Bremerton will kick off here. 1:13 left here in this first half. It's a squibber picked up at about the 31-yard line. And the Wildcats will bring it out to the 45.
That's that famed number 42 that I am missing. So I know there's another roster around here. I'll see if I can find it at halftime and get who that was.
Yep, I don't have 42 on either one of my lineups.
No, they had
either.
They had a slightly different one they handed out at the door that I didn't get, that had some people they brought up for this. So, I bet you it's Taylor Gibson because he can be either.
Okay.
That is it.
First down for the Wildcats, and it's going to be a handoff up through the middle. Bremerton will hold them to about 3 yards on that. Galgano carrying it, and getting up off the bottom of that pile is Connor Mahoney. And you know, the sophomore has been in on a few of these stops tonight. Quick no-huddle play there for the Wildcats. Handoff to 34. He's got a first down. He's down to the 40, the 35, and almost a 30-yard line of Bremerton. And that would be Gordon Reagan. Or Reagan Gordon, excuse me. 2 last names or 2 first names.
That is correct. He's the sophomore of the 2 Gordon brothers. Richard out there as well.
And again, no huddle. And it's the spike to stop the clock. We've got 30 seconds left in this first half. First down, it'll be second down for Archbishop Murphy. They stop the clock to get a timeout. And ball at the 31-yard line of the Knights. The Knights defense really needs to hold them from scoring here.
Well, Doc, there was that 67-yard field goal a couple weeks ago. I don't know what their field goal capacity is, but it doesn't seem as if that's what they're working for right now.
And it was not an Archbishop kicker.
No, it was not.
And my favorite kicker, Kyler Gracie from North Kitsap.
First hand through. But there's going to be a hold, so it isn't going anywhere.
And that's lucky for Bremerton, I'll tell you that, because that was a great pickup. And once again, Alex Galgano, the senior, 5'11", 205 pounds. That's almost perfect for a running back.
That would have put him easily over the 100-yard mark. Having that 80-yard run certainly was a good start to that. but the hold's going to put them right back.
That'll move them back. They will get another down, but with 21 seconds, Bremerton got lucky on that one. So now the Bremerton D's got 21
seconds to hold these guys there.
And this time, since there was a timeout, they will huddle. Probably call 2 plays, though, in the huddle. And ball's going to go back to the 42-yard line.
You know, Doc, that would be about the 67-yard field goal, so 52. No, it would only be about a 60-yard. Yeah.
All right, second down for Archbishop Murphy, and quarterback going to the air. He's got a receiver, and it's going to be a TD.
The same one to 88. That is Brandon Byrne.
Brandon Byrne beat the defense once again. A second TD for him.
Thusly burned is correct. Wow. You could.
And Camden Buchanan found the open man down deep with 13 seconds on the clock, Kitty.
Well, and unfortunately, you couldn't play a totally prevent defense because of their ability to run it up the middle and take off, but you would have expected a little bit more help on that particular one.
All right, so the Wildcats will attempt a PAT here. It's down, blocked.
It's a fake.
Oh, it's a fake, and they could not get the pass off.
Cannot catch it on the bounce.
And I guess that's why you have a quarterback as a holder.
Well, and I kind of heard them call something to my left that I might have guessed that it was going to be a fake, but.
Yeah, once again, Bremerton may have dodged a bullet. Archbishop Murphy with 25, Bremerton with 14, 13 seconds left in the second quarter, but that's only 9 points, Kitty.
Hard to believe when they've scored as much as they have, and you realize that took them all of a minute. It was 1:13 when they got the ball and 13 seconds left when they were done.
And Coach Gillum and his staff is definitely going to have to talk to the D about trying to stop the running game.
It's been the passing game, though, that has killed them on those two receptions.
Shots,
yeah.
But all set up by those runs.
They are. I agree.
That running game has really been working big time for Archbishop, which leaves the quarterback what does he have? 4 passes, 5 passes tonight, and 2 of them for touchdowns.
There you are. Not a bad quarterback rating right there.
That's correct. So 13 seconds left to go in this first half at Silverdale Stadium. And the Wildcats from Archbishop Murphy, south of Everett, are leading 25-14 over our Bremerton High School Knights.
Well, we're finding out they have some speed and talent on this Wildcat squad.
And once that whistle blows, then the Wildcats split into a more familiar formation where they line at the 30. The kicker actually ahead of the line, which you don't see a whole lot. Usually he comes through that line. And a squibber down to the 30-yard line, picked up by Bremerton, out to the 35. The 40, it's a nice run here by Ty Haley. Oh, we got a lot of flags coming in at the end of that run.
I think that's going to be face mask by chance. I'm not sure.
Okay, Ty got it out to almost the 50-yard line to midfield, but the men in stripes are conferring. But with 2 seconds left, that gives you time for a Hail Mary.
It certainly does, and if they're going to tack a penalty onto this, that would really make a difference.
We got 3 flags out there.
Well, it was a good penalty.
2 on that side, 1 on this, and so we'll have to see what the call is.
It was number 35 who brought him down when I was watching, Christopher Demetrio. Oh, it's against
There's 2
one of each.
Offsetting clip. It used to be called a clip.
Block in the back.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And the other one was the face mask. Offsetting, so Bremerton takes it at the 50-yard line, midfield, and has 2 seconds left on the clock here in this first half. And I guess you either take the knee or you take the shot.
Boy, I would not want to take the knee against this team because they like to score. So,
Yeah, well, 2 seconds though.
yeah.
Once the ball is in the hands of the QB. 2 has started, and we're going to zeros with Mike Lawrence. He's thinking about that Hail Mary, but he decides to pull it in. He didn't have an open receiver. He's going to make a nice
Looking for a
run.
block.
But I don't think it's going to do him any good as far as the score goes. He'll take it down to the 28, but that's going to be the end of the first half, and it's a 9-point lead for the Archbishop Murphy Wildcats, 25-14.
Wow. Great first half, and
sums it
looking
up.
forward to a second.
That sums it up. Well, I'm the Dr. Doc Park, Kitty Campagna from West Sound TV. Spencer Anderson running the camera for you. KidsUpSun.com, streaming it live to the community. And we will be back for that second half shortly.